Hey guys, Dom here, back again with another Starfield video. Now, I'll be honest, it's been quite a while since I've heard any news on Bethesda's next upcoming sci-fi IP, Starfield. And since Bethesda's decisions lately seem to be going through disaster after disaster, Bethesda have been holding their cards pretty close regarding any information about their next adventure. But it seems something has slipped through the cracks. Only this time, the information presented to us hasn't come from Bethesda themselves, nor on sites like their LinkedIn page, nor their careers page, or through any of their various trademarks. No, this piece of information comes from a global gaming retailer known as EB Games. Now, before I dive into this video, I would like to forward all of the credit for first finding this piece of information to my good pal Joey Caps Gaming, to which Joey himself first covered this discovery over on his channel, which I will leave linked down in the description below. So to start this video, we have to take a trip down to the previously mentioned gaming retailer EB Games website. Now, from what I could find out about EB Games are an international gaming retailer upon the same level as GameStop over in the US, or if you live here in the UK, Game. So we have to take the following information and actions very seriously, as this isn't coming from some indie game store. These stores are a part of a corporation and are a highly regarded retailer. So that being said, I was surprised to find out that a couple of days ago, it had come to light that EB Games had leaked / posted a placeholder for Bethesda's next IP, Starfield. So as you could imagine, I quickly dived onto said site to find out more, to which as you can see, you will find 3 Starfield placeholders for all 3 platforms, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, accompanied by a release window of 2021. Now, to me, this was an instant red flag, seeing as we all know by now that the next generation of consoles, i.e. the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet, are officially releasing in the fall of 2020 next year. And from various interviews and E3 showcases, we know that Bethesda are developing Starfield for the next generation of systems and hardware. So this clearly wasn't right. And to me, this just looked like another fake placeholder just to build hype around this various website / retailer. That was until I saw you can actually pre-order this Starfield product right now, to which this did not sit right with me. Again, this is coming from an established retailer selling pre-orders for a game that one hasn't even been fully announced yet, nor do we have a release date from Bethesda Game Studios. In order for retailers like this to follow procedure and start a marketing campaign, which then involves Bethesda creating advertisements for the game, be it on TV, YouTube ads, in-store advertisements, in-store POS like posters, cardboard decorations, pre-orders, midnight releases, and other events such like this. It's only when a game is fully announced can a retailer officially take people's money for pre-orders. Not only did I find out that this retailer was taking deposits for Starfield, there is a default option, as you can see, to pay for the entirety of the game up front. A game that doesn't even exist yet, and to me, this is completely immoral. So with this, I wasn't prepared to just sit back. I wanted answers. So I went over to Twitter and found said retailer and decided to inbox them with a few questions of my own. To which, as you can see, I wrote to them saying, "Hey there, I was wondering if you could explain to me why you have Starfield at Bethesda Game Studios' next RPG up for pre-order on your website. Is there an actual release window, or is this just hype or a genuine mistake? I look forward to your response. Thanks, Dom." To which they promptly responded, "Hey Dom, thanks for getting in touch with us about this. This is a placeholder pre-orderable item. Basically, this means that we are taking pre-orders on this while we wait for some more information from Bethesda regarding the release of this game, and any extra details on additions which may become available. Basically, this is a pre-order for the standard edition of the game for people who want to make sure they have this pre-ordered as soon as possible." What? So as they just mentioned, this is a pre-order placeholder? What? I've never heard of this before. But as they say, they are in layman's terms taking people's money whilst we wait for more details on Starfield and not the other way around. To which I follow up on their reply with, Hey Bell, thank you for your response. Although I must admit I am confused as to how this can work, seeing as Bethesda haven't announced any details on Starfield or what platforms it will be coming to. Please excuse me for being so blunt, but isn't this in ways, in brackets, scamming people, as you are taking deposits for a game that has not yet even finished production? Surely this isn't okay with Bethesda Game Studios or parent company ZeniMax Media. Another detail you've changed is the game's release date, as it was up on your site originally for a release date of 2021, and now within a few hours it has changed to 2019. Again, I'm just trying to get an understanding of these events, and I look forward to your response. Thank you, Dom. Now, you may have picked up on a detail I have not described to you yet, and that is the changing of release dates. Now, as I mentioned when Joey first saw this post, the release date was 2021, and when I decided to check the site, the release date had changed. As you can see here, these are two separate times of the same website. And again, as you can see, the release dates are indeed different. I also found out that this retailer has different sites for different countries, to which I went over to their New Zealand website, and again, the release dates are completely different. Now, I mention this because within their follow-up response, they address this concern of mine, but not correctly, stating, as mentioned, this is a placeholder which we make available on the approval of local vendors. Still have no idea who these local vendors are, but continuing. This is something we do with numerous games and most items which are announced at gaming conventions such as E3. Any platforms that are confirmed are updated as we receive more information from the vendor directly. In the event that an item is cancelled from physical release or no longer available on a platform, it will be removed under the advice of the local vendor, in this case Bethesda, and all deposits are refunded to customers who have had their orders cancelled. From what I can see here, this still has a placeholder date on our website as 2021. We work closely with all local vendors, including Bethesda, to make sure all items we have available for pre-order are up to date with all information we receive from them. If we are updated with any changes, we update our information to reflect this and inform customers of any vital changes to their pre-orders. Now, there were a few things that I later discovered that suggest not all of what they are saying here is true. As I mentioned, the release windows are not all the same as stated by the company, even though as of today the release date has returned to 2021, although the New Zealand site is still up for a 2019 release. So what's going on here? You're still the same company. You're still charging people for a game that doesn't even exist, only now with false/unknown information going back and forth on a release window. This isn't consistent. Also, they mentioned something that really doesn't sit right with me, and that is in them saying that a customer would only receive their money back if Bethesda were to cancel the game or if it were only to be released as a digital release. Now, this is next level, as again, the in quotes game doesn't exist. We've seen one trailer. That's it. And yet you are selling a AAA product years before its likely release. Not only this, but we all know Bethesda aren't going to cancel Starfield, nor is it ever likely that Bethesda would only release a game digitally. But they did mention that they supposedly work with Bethesda in terms of products like this becoming available to pre-order. So me being me, I decided to take matters into my own hands and reach out to my various connections within Bethesda Australia and our home office here at Bethesda UK, to which, as you can see, I sent all aspects of the conversation between myself and the retailer to clarify if Bethesda even knew this was happening. As for me, there was too many shadowy things going on, and I knew this could bring some serious concrete confirmation. So as I stated, I reached out and got several responses from individuals over at Bethesda. Now, from what I gathered, Bethesda UK stated, "Hey Dom, thanks for reaching out. We saw this posted ourselves, so we looped in with the Australia office. This is a normal placeholder operation for EB Games over there." Alongside this, I also received several responses from individuals within Bethesda stating that in summary, no, Bethesda did not know directly about any pre-orders and that Bethesda Australia is keeping an eye on the matter. Although from what I have heard, this sort of misled marketing isn't illegal in certain countries. Other countries such as Germany, England and many more have taken a hard stance on this and have banned practices like these. So for this retailer, this is just what they do, taking people's money for games that haven't even been fully announced yet. And you know what? This isn't even the worst thing. The absolute cherry on top is the fact that not only can you pay in full for Starfield, a game that won't most likely be coming for another 2 years, but how about paying for a game that won't most likely be coming for another 5 to 6 years? That's right. These guys are selling pre-orders for none other than The Elder Scrolls 6, again with a release date window of 2021 or 2019, depending on what website you are on. I'm not kidding. This is beyond a joke. A game that is literally being drawn for concept art. A game that hasn't even started full production. A game we won't most likely see till the year of 2025 or later. But hey, you can take my money now, right? I mean, it's not illegal. No, it's just disgustingly immoral. But hey, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Best ones get featured in the credits of these videos. And as a side note, I just want to say massive shout out to you guys. You guys have been showing the channel unbelievable support lately, and I really appreciate that. And if you liked this video, hit that on that like and subscribe button. And as always, my cousins are out fighting dragons. And what do I get? Guard duty.